Your heart races, not from fear, but from the echoing silence
of unfulfilled potential.
It beats with a rhythm known only to those who have felt the quiet despair of dreams deferred, the sting of ambition unpursued, and the gnawing ache of knowing there's more within them than they've ever dared to unleash. You stand at a precipice, not of physical danger, but of a profound existential choice. You are poised between the comfortable stagnation of what is and the terrifying, exhilarating freedom of what could be. The air around you, thick with the unsaid, whispers a truth that few dare to utter, a truth that, once embraced, will shatter the illusions that have held you captive and set you on a path to unshakable power. You see, the truth, stark and unyielding, is this: nobody cares. Not in the way you desperately crave them to. Not about your excuses, your setbacks, your perceived injustices.
They don't care about the dreams you whisper only to yourself in the dead of night.
The visions you cradle in the quiet hours of dawn, or the silent pain that gnaws at your spirit when the world seems to turn its back. This isn't a dismissal, it's a profound, liberating realization. It's the universe, in its infinite wisdom and brutal honesty, handing you the reins. It's a gift, wrapped not in ribbons and bows, but in the raw, unvarnished reality of human experience. Because in that profound apathy lies your purest, most unadulterated freedom. No one is watching with bated breath for your failure. No one is secretly hoping you trip. And more importantly, no one is holding you back from your triumph. The spotlight you imagine,
the judgment you fear, the collective gaze you feel pressing down on your shoulders. It's a phantom.
It's a construct of your own mind. A protective shield that has inadvertently become your cage.
The only true audience that genuinely matters is the one within you.
The quiet observer of your choices, and the only critic that truly holds sway is the one that resides in the deepest chambers of your own soul. This understanding, raw and unsentimental, stripped bare of all comforting illusions, is the crucible where true, unyielding power is forged. It peels away the layers of external validation that you've unknowingly sought. It dissolves the comforting narrative of external blame, and it forces you, in the most profound way, to confront the mirror. What do you truly see reflected there? A victim of circumstance, tossed about by the whims of fate and the opinions of others, or a sculptor of destiny, armed with the tools of intention and effort. The choice, in its terrifying simplicity, is yours alone. And in that choice, that singular, powerful decision to own your narrative, lies the very foundation of everything that follows. It's the defining moment. You stop waiting for permission, for recognition, for a helping hand to lift you up, and you start digging in with both hands, with every fiber of your being, into the unyielding earth of your own potential. It's the whisper of defiance that becomes a roar, the tiny spark of resolve that ignites a conflagration within your very core. It's the silent, solitary commitment to something infinitely greater than yourself, something that transcends the fleeting opinions, the casual judgments, and the indifferent gazes of others. Because when nobody cares, when the noise of external expectation finally fades into a distant hum, that's when you discover what you truly care about. That's when your inherent drive, unburdened by the crushing weight of expectation, truly awakens. It's a primal force, a wellspring of untapped energy, waiting for you to simply acknowledge its existence and give it purpose. And once that primal drive awakens, once you truly grasp with every fiber of your being that the responsibility for your ascent, for your transformation, for your very legacy rests squarely and unequivocally on your own shoulders, the next step becomes glaringly, almost blindingly obvious. Work harder, not just a little harder, not just when inspiration strikes you like a bolt of lightning, not just when you feel like it, but with an intensity that borders on the sacred, with a relentless pursuit of mastery that echoes the titans of history who build empires out of nothing but grit and vision. Think of Thomas Edison, a man who, by his own account, failed thousands upon thousands of times in his quest to create a practical light bulb. Did he lament his misfortunes? Did he succumb to the sneers of skeptics? Or wait for someone to empathize with his burnt filaments, his shattered glass, his endless, frustrating dead ends? No, he simply, stubbornly, magnificently worked harder. He didn't see failure. He merely discovered thousands of ways that wouldn't work, meticulously documenting each misstep.
Learning from every collapsed experiment.
He iterated, innovated, and persevered until the world was irrevocably bathed in the enduring glow of his persistence, a testament to the power of unwavering effort. Or consider Andrew Carnegie, a man who rose from the absolute destitution of a Scottish immigrant family to build an industrial empire that reshaped America. He didn't achieve this through inherited wealth, through charm, or through a network of powerful connections. He built it through an unwavering commitment to his vision for a steel industry that would fuel a nation, and an iron will to outwork, outthink, and out-execute everyone around him. He understood, with a clarity that few possessed, that while raw talent might open a few initial doors, relentless, unyielding effort is what ultimately builds the entire house. Brick by painstaking brick, beam by unyielding beam. This isn't about grinding yourself into dust for the sake of it, for some perverse sense of self-punishment. It's about a profound, strategic channeling of your energy, your focus, your very being, into the disciplined, consistent, often mundane tasks that, when compounded over days, weeks, months, and years, create monumental, irreversible shifts in your reality. It's about the extra hour you dedicate to learning, the deeper dive you take into understanding a complex problem, the unwavering refusal to settle for good enough when exceptional is within your grasp. It's about recognizing with a cold, hard logic that every minute spent procrastinating, every moment lost to debilitating self-doubt, every instance of choosing comfort over effort is a minute irrevocably stolen from the future you are capable of creating. It's the fundamental difference between wishing for a bountiful harvest and tilling the soil until your hands ache, until your muscles burn, until the sweat stings your eyes. This isn't a glamorous truth. There are no motivational slogans to make it palatable. It's a gritty, unvarnished truth. It demands sweat. It demands sacrifice. It demands a willingness to embrace discomfort as a constant, albeit temporary, companion. It means saying no to fleeting pleasures, to immediate gratification, in favor of delayed, far greater rewards. But for those who answer its call, for those who embrace the raw, demanding discipline of consistent, focused effort, the rewards are not merely external achievements, not just tangible successes. The truest reward is the forging of an unshakable inner fortitude, a knowing in your very bones that you are the singular architect of your own destiny, crafting it with your own hands, with your own will, brick by painstaking brick. This dedication, this singular, almost spiritual focus on the task at hand, transforms the seemingly insurmountable into the merely challenging. It takes the impossible and makes it inevitable.
This relentless pursuit,
this almost spiritual dedication to effort, isn't born from a place of mere desperation or a blind, undirected fury. It emerges, rather, from a profound,
illuminating clarity of purpose.
It's not enough to simply work hard. That's the equivalent of a ship with powerful engines, but no rudder, aimlessly burning fuel. You must work hard on the right things, with a laser-like, almost surgical focus on a vision so vivid, so meticulously defined, that it feels more real, more tangible than your current, often mundane, circumstances. Consider the journey of Walt Disney. He didn't just decide to build an amusement park. He meticulously crafted a fantastical world, an immersive experience born entirely from a dream he had meticulously painted in his mind's eye, long before a single brick was laid, before a single ride was designed. He saw the towering castles, heard the enchanting music, felt the unbridled joy of the future visitors, all with an astonishing clarity, all before any of it existed in the physical realm. This isn't mere daydreaming, a whimsical flight of fancy.
This is strategic visualization.
This is the sophisticated art of defining your ultimate destination, your grand purpose, with such unwavering precision that every single action you take, every decision you make, no matter how small, becomes a direct, unerring arrow aiming for that specific target. Without this profound clarity, your effort, no matter how intense, how admirable, becomes diffuse, scattered like light, refracted through a prism. You might be incredibly busy, your days packed from morning till night. But are you truly productive? Are you genuinely advancing towards a meaningful objective? Or are you merely treading water with impressively powerful strokes, expending energy with no real forward momentum? This clarity acts as your unwavering internal compass, guiding you with an almost supernatural precision through the inevitable storms of doubt, through the treacherous waters of distraction, and through the siren calls of lesser opportunities. It empowers you with quiet confidence to say no to opportunities that, while perhaps enticing on the surface, ultimately deviate from your carefully charted path. No matter how tempting they may initially seem, it helps you prioritize, to discern with a keen, intuitive wisdom the truly essential from the merely urgent, the profoundly impactful from the simply pressing. It's the silent, internal force that propels you forward even when your initial motivation wanes, even when the daily grind feels monotonous Because the luminous image of what you are building, the profound vision of the person you are becoming, is so compelling, so magnetic, that it literally pulls you onward through sheer gravitational force. This isn't a luxury, a nicety for those who have the time to indulge in such lofty thinking. It's an absolute, non-negotiable necessity for anyone truly serious about transcending their current limitations, about escaping the gravitational pull of mediocrity. It's the fundamental difference between a ship aimlessly drifting on the open sea at the mercy of every current and tide, and one charting a precise course across vast, tumultuous oceans towards a predefined, clearly visible harbor. And the clearer that harbor appears in your mind's eye, the more meticulously you define its contours, its atmosphere, its purpose, the more inevitable your glorious arrival becomes. It's not magic. It's the profound power of focused intention. This unwavering vision, coupled with the understanding that nobody cares about your struggle but you, naturally cultivates an unshakable belief in your own capacity. Not a flimsy, fleeting optimism, but a deep, resonant conviction that you possess the inherent resources to overcome any obstacle, to learn any skill, to manifest any dream, provided you apply yourself relentlessly. Abraham Lincoln, a man who faced crushing personal loss and political defeat again and again, never wavered in his belief in the Union and his role in preserving it. His persistence wasn't born from an absence of setbacks, but from an abundance of self-belief that transcended the immediate pain of his circumstances. He simply kept going, often against all odds, because he believed in the profound righteousness of his cause and his ability to see it through. This isn't arrogance. It's a quiet, profound self-trust. It's the inner knowing that every single person who has ever achieved anything remarkable started exactly where you are, with an idea, a desire, and an unproven potential. The difference wasn't a sudden burst of external favor, but an internal commitment to cultivate that potential through sheer, unadulterated effort. When you truly embrace that nobody cares, you stop seeking external validation and begin to validate yourself. You stop looking for permission and start giving yourself the mandate. This belief isn't something you're born with. It's something you forge in the fires of consistent action, in the quiet victories over self-doubt, in the repeated triumph over inertia. Every time you push past your comfort zone, every time you choose effort over ease, you are depositing another coin into the bank of your self-belief, steadily building an unassailable fortune. It's a cyclical process. The harder you work, the more you believe, the more you believe. The harder you are willing to work, this virtuous cycle, once initiated, becomes an unstoppable force, propelling you towards magnitudes of achievement you once considered impossible. And so, the journey culminates not in a destination, but in a state of continuous action and unwavering resilience. The belief transforms into an urgent compulsion to do, to create, to become. Henry Ford didn't invent the automobile in a flash of genius. He relentlessly experimented, failed, refined, and iterated, pushing through countless mechanical setbacks and financial crises. He didn't wait for perfect conditions or external approval. He simply kept building, kept improving, driven by a deep conviction in his vision. This isn't about working blindly. It's about informed, purposeful action, constantly refined by feedback and an unyielding commitment to adaptability. It's understanding that setbacks are not stop signs, but course corrections. They are not failures of your character, but lessons in your process. When nobody cares about your stumbles, you are free to stumble, to fall, to pick yourself up,
Dust yourself off.
and try again, stronger and wiser. This resilience is not the absence of fear or pain, but the unwavering commitment to move forward in spite of them. It's the understanding that the only true failure is the failure to continue. The world doesn't owe you success. It offers you the opportunity to earn it. And you earn it day by day, moment by moment. Not by hoping, not by wishing, but by putting in the tireless, often unglamorous work. This path isn't for the faint of heart. It demands courage, perseverance, and an almost brutal honesty with yourself. But for those who embrace this truth, who internalize the profound freedom that comes from knowing nobody cares about your excuses, only about your results, the rewards are immeasurable. You don't just achieve external success. You forge an indomitable spirit, a soul awakened to its limitless potential, forever changed by the sheer power of its own awakened will. Your legacy will not be defined by who cared about your struggles, but by the undeniable evidence of your relentless effort, etched into the very fabric of your accomplished life, a testament to your unwavering dedication. So, stand tall, take a deep breath, and remember the quiet, profound power that resides in two simple, transformative words: work harder